full sequence of how it works. And so we will read some more shlokas and then I will show you that again the same chart. Okay, like how this fall happened, family destruction of the family. Okay, from 39 to 42. So we'll read one more verse. शंकरो नरकायैव कुलज्ञानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदक्रिया. As increase also, because elderly people will not be there, women will get polluted, and then unwanted population will come. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life for both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performance for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Shraddha. Okay, so according to the rules and regulations of creative activities, there is a need to offer periodically food and water to the forefathers of the family. Okay, this is quite important here. Okay, so this offering is performed by worship of Vishnu because eating the remnants of food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reactions. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reactions. Sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a good gross material body and are forced to remain in subtle bodies as ghosts. Sometimes somebody's forefathers may be in the Pitraloka, or sometimes they may be even in some hellish planet suffering for their sinful activities, or sometimes they may be even ghosts. So, thus, when remnants of prasadam food are offered to forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition, and those who are not in devotional life are required to perform such rituals. This is important here. Those who are not in devotional life are required to perform such rituals. This is basically Prabhupada is talking about Shraddha ceremony because people offer food to forefathers, pitras. Okay, in different times they do that. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada is saying that it is good because if you offer food to them, they will get sometimes gross body. Because they are not getting gross body, they are not getting further chance to perform devotional service. Out of sin, because of sinful activities, they are in somewhere in hellish planet or like that. So, but many people they just cook the food and they offer. That's not the right process. Okay, that is not the right process. Right process is you cook the food, offer it to Krishna, and then that prasadam you offer to Pitras. Because food which is not offered to Krishna, eating that food is also sin. The other day I was saying that there is no such concept in Bhagavad Gita about vegetarian and non-vegetarian because even eating vegetarian food, if it is not offered to Krishna and directly eating, then it is sin and person will go to hell. It is very much sure. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam both. Right? Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, it will come, I think 13th verse, it is talking about this only. That if one person is eating food which is not offered to Krishna, they'll go to hell. They are eating only sin. But devotees, they are not eating that. They are eating prasadam. They are offering it to Krishna. So they only take food which is offered already to Krishna. That means they only take prasadam. So they are not under the sinful reaction. So even for pitras who are even for forefathers who are already suffering out because of their sinful reactions, so why we have to feed them again some more sin? Because the goal of Shraddha is so that they will be relieved from their sin and they'll come down and they'll get gross body, they perform bhakti. So if you offer them Krishna Prasadam, then it is good. Okay, and but point here is that The two things to be understood. One thing is that if a person, now Prabhupada is writing that these all such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition. It's a family tradition. And Arjuna is talking, if elderly people are not teaching this, they are not there who will teach. And so this family tradition will be stopped. And when the family tradition will stop, nobody will offer Shraddha to forefathers. Then they will not be able to get relief from there. Okay. So that is another thing. Okay, so the another thing is that they have to teach this thing to the children's descendants so that they will do for them. Otherwise, if descendants they don't know, like modern days now, in present situation, many people don't do this Shraddha and all. Many people don't do this. Only few people will do, and many people do only out of ritual. They don't understand the message, so they do it in a wrong manner. Understand? So because of this only, there is no benefit of it. But a person who is in Krishna consciousness, he will, for him, these rituals are not much important. Many rituals are not important for a devotee of Krishna. He should not do that. If he does, it's okay, but they are not needed. They are not mandatory. Out of social etiquette, he may do sometime, but he is not obliged to do that. He is not forced to do that. Okay, even Shraddha. Because one who is engaged in the devotional life is not required to perform such actions. It's very clearly mentioned. Many people get confused, and even after understanding so many things, they get into rituals. They chant Hare Krishna, they read Bhagavatam, they do all things. Even after some time, after getting initiation, they are still into rituals, astrology, vastu, ye, wo, pata nahi kya. Are you have full faith in Krishna, 100%, 100% faith in Krishna, then everything will work. Okay, so a person who is performing bhakti is not required to perform these kind of rituals. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. What to speak about this? Because you are once in a 15 days or like that, you are feeding to forefathers. But a devotee of Krishna every day feeding 3 times minimum to the Supreme Father, Krishna. He is every day feeding. So when he is every day feeding Krishna, forefather will remain hungry. Yeah? Krishna already said, if I am satisfied, the whole world is satisfied with you. How come forefathers are not satisfied? So this is a higher thing. Yes. This is higher understanding. That a bhakta, a devotee of Krishna, who is performing devotional service properly, authorized manner. It's not like anybody saying, I am also Krishna bhakta, so I am not doing. You are doing properly and your faith is pure. You have 100% pure faith in Krishna. Then you don't have to do any rituals. You just follow the process of bhakti, shravanam, kirtanam, Vishnu smaranam. Okay, that's the point here. One can deal, that's why Prabhupada is directly built very clearly. Prabhupada read to the point, one who is engaged in devotional life is not required to perform such things. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. It is stated in the Bhagavatam 11.5.41, Devar Shriputa Nirnam Pitrinam Naking Karo Nayam Rini Charajan Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritte Karatam Gato Mukundam Parihritte Karatam. Anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation. Mukha means Mukti, Da means the giver. Mukunda means the giver of liberation. So anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligations. There is no obligation, there is no duties pending for him towards Demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. No obligation, no painting, loan, nothing. Okay. Even it is said no that for everyone on everyone's head there are few renas, right? Loan, like forefathers, sages, demigods, all these things, motherland or whatever. Nothing is pending. Okay, everything is done. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled. How? Automatically fulfilled. How? By performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Okay. दोषै रेतै कुलघ्नानां वर्ण शंकर कारकै उत्सात्यन्ते जाति dharma kula dharma shastra. So you heard that elderly people will die and then women will get, there is no family tradition, then women will get adopted, then there will be unwanted progeny, and unwanted progeny, unwanted population will not perform rituals. Okay, and because of that pitras will fall down. Okay, now by the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to the unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. Community projects for the four orders of human society combined with family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of Sanatana Dharma or Varnashram Dharma are designed to enable the human being to attain his ultimate salvation. Therefore, the breaking the Sanatana Dharma tradition. So you see, when the systems is broken and no rituals perform, nothing. Now that's what is happening. Now there is no Sanatana Dharma. Nobody is following Varnashram. You cannot determine anybody's Varna. Okay. People don't know their Varna also. Therefore, the breaking of the Sanatana Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders. Who are these? Irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in the society and consequently people forget the aim of life. What is that? Vishnu. Such leaders are called blind and persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. Who are these blind leaders or irresponsible leaders? These are those same people, that king who did not teach bhakti to praja, citizens, and these are the parents who did not teach devotional service to the kids. These are the guru who just made money and they never taught any bhakti. So these are the responsible leaders who are not teaching their subordinates bhakti, and then everything is becoming a dangerous situation. Okay, then this Utsanna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciple succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell, and in whose family there is no family tradition is being followed, they always remains in hell. Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authority. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of actual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. If a person don't know, how you can teach? Okay. So if we want to know the right knowledge, then we have to approach the right person. So there is this, so that's why even if you want to know if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, so Bhagavad Gita message is bhakti. So if you want to understand proper message of Bhagavad Gita, you have to go a proper bona fide authorized devotee of Krishna. And if you go to some local fellow, he will teach you some local activity. Okay. There is a system in the Varnashram institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activity. One who is always engaged in, in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prayaschitta. So if a person does any sinful activity and does prayaschitta, he may, because he already did some prayaschitta, in hell he will be given less punishment. Okay, that is why these kings used to give punishment. Why king is given? Because now he already got the punishment, so he will not get in hell. So one who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called Prashita. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as the result of sinful activities. If one is not following, if not doing Parashita, definitely will go to hellish planet. Okay, so okay, okay, so that's how we yesterday we were seeing this chart. Now from 44 onwards we shall do tomorrow, but I'll show you this chart. I'll share again. Okay. Hare Krishna. So yes, 39 onwards. First, elderly people will be absent because of death. So the family tradition will stop and religion will increase because of with this destruction of dynasties or elderly peoples. The entire family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion because nobody is following proper rituals, culture. Definitely, they will do irreligion because something anyway they have to do. So if no dharma they are following, they will do adharma. So when irreligion is there, because when traditional activities are there, women are engaged in that. Maximum traditional rituals, women are having main role. And our puja and all decoration, home, whatever is there, women's are very important role is there for women. So when there is no such thing is happening, they are not having any engagement only. That's why modern days many girls say, "Arey, what will do all day in the home? Let us go and work outside, do some creative work, sitting in the home." Because they have no job. But earlier, when family traditions were there, they were having more busy schedule than a man. Like morning 4 o'clock to night 10 o'clock, because they were the main person. Women were the main who will handle everything. So they were like that's why they were treated like Lakshmi in the home, like Graha Lakshmi. Okay, so when there is no such family traditions, rituals, and system being followed, dharma being followed, women are getting polluted. When religion is prominent, the women in the family become polluted. Okay, so that is why they need to be protected by the father, husband, or son. Otherwise, if there is a chance that they may lead to adultery, and that will cause Varna Sankara, okay, unwanted progeny. Varna Sankara means there is no proper system to whom to meet kind of thing. Okay, so like Brahmin will get married to Brahmin like that. So Varna Sankara means everybody is getting married to anyone, like no system they are following, which is presently it is seen. Okay, many places I was there when I was there in Kerala, you will see in one family only. You will find Hindu, Muslim, Christian, everyone in one family only. Okay, so son is Hindu, wife is Muslim, parents are Christian, and their daughter is again some other religion. Like that, full. This is called Vada Sangra. Everything is mixed. No, so what culture they will follow? Hai. It's not like we are not saying that Muslim is useless or Christian is not a good. No, Prabhupada is not teaching that other religion. Even Prabhupada said nobody should criticize other religion, but a person should follow their own culture, and gradually they will progress towards God. That's right. So Christian means you follow your own culture properly, no problem. But when this all mixture happened, then it is called Varna Sangra. Nobody follows any Vedic ritual, any scriptural thing. No, no one follows any family tradition, rituals, nothing. And then it is so unwanted situation. And because of this, the progeny, the population, the children they are contaminated because they don't know, they are not, the process is not followed properly. Okay, they are just born, children are just born out of lust. not out of devotion. Okay, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, children's like the process of meeting of man and woman. This process, kama, is a representation of me. But when it is performed as per dharma. So when husband wife as per dharma, when they beget a child, the process is actually one of the vibhuti of Krishna. But when it is done only out of lust, out of bodily affection, it is all a sin. Okay, and that is why the children are not very good out of those processes. Okay, so because the uh, in, nature injects that kind of soul, okay, in the womb of mother through the semen of father. What kind of soul will be injected by nature? The kind of consciousness husband and wife is having, that kind of soul. If they are having some kind of lusty consciousness, definitely some demons will come in the womb of the women. Okay, but they are having devotional consciousness as a service servant of Krishna, then a devotee of Krishna will take birth by their union. Okay, so this unwanted earlier days, that's why there was no unwanted children. Only they were having more children, 20 children like that, 10 children, 12 children, but all were wanted children. They were not unwanted children. Okay, so nowadays many times children are unwanted. They were never like there was no Garbhadham Sanskar done. That means it is unwanted children. Okay, and like that. So Varna Sankara has three effects. This that's why nowadays so much war and so many sinful activities people are performing, because all these unwanted children only will do this all the nonsense. Okay, so for the whole family ancestors fall down because pindadan stops. They will not do any shraddha, they will not do any ritual. So definitely the ancestors has to fall down to hell, you know, and that whole family is destroyed, and everything, communities, everything will be destroyed. Hell is life for family, and God destroyer of family, and whole culture is finished, destroyed. Okay, that's why you see nowadays no culture at all. Everybody just doing nonsense and thinking they are doing everything right. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So tomorrow we will go with the 44th verse. Okay, tomorrow this chapter number 1 will be completed. Hare Krishna. Okay, so chapter number 1 is about complete, and introduction questions I have already sent. Only 2 devotees replied, nobody else replied, so no issue, no problem. Okay, it's up to you. If you want to understand and take it and grab it for a long time, you want to keep it with you for a long time, it's better you sit alone and give some time and do some homework and find the answers. Okay, in most probably today I will send the questions from first chapter. Okay, so anyway, who have sent answers, I'm very thankful to them, and they can send answer to emails. And to the email, if they send, it will be always remaining for you also, for us also, so that anytime you want, you can access. Or you just make a, if you are comfortable with computer, you can make answers in your Word file and share file in the drive. So whole thing will remain with you always. Anytime you can access the file and you can remember that these are the hard work you did and these are the answers. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so you can yeah, audio reply, yeah, you can do, but better you do it Word file. That will be nice. Okay, means text you do, that will be good. Hare Krishna. So if you want to attend Srimad Bhagavatam, you can join now.